What's up, everybody? Welcome back. This is another episode of Recovery Talk brought to you by Pro Recovery Power. Now, I usually make these announcements at the end. I'll talk about it more so in the beginning. Now, if you have a story to tell of how you went from the problem of drug or alcohol addiction to the solution of recovery, and you want to share it, please let me know. Message me. Oh, what's up, Martin? Message me. And we can make that happen. I'm very excited today because I got one of my friends coming on, joining me, my friend Charlie B, and we got sober together. He got sober like 6 or 7 months before me. I met him in the rooms, and it's been great, man. I'm really excited for this one because we shared a lot of different experiences. So I'm just pumped to have him on today. I hope you guys are having a good Saturday, and all is well. I hope all is well with you, your family, your health, your mental health, and your recovery. So just give me a second, and I'll get Charlie B up in here. He should be here real soon. Hey, Christy. And while we're waiting, guys, so look. Real soon, I'll be launching the Pro Recovery Power website to give you guys more in-depth detail of what Pro Recovery is, because we're not just a page on Instagram. We're not just a recovery clothing line as well. There's more to it than that. March 3rd, we will be starting our very first ever Pro Recovery Power meeting. It's a non-denominational meeting. Anybody from any fellowship or support group will be welcome to come. It doesn't matter what kind of addiction, drug addiction, alcohol addiction, sex addiction, gambling addiction. I've heard other people's stories that have struggled with other addictions. I could really relate to the things that they felt, how they felt, with the things they did as well. So the disease of addiction doesn't discriminate at all. So, here's my man. Let's see, Charlie B. Here we go. Oh, Braddah!
What's up, Braddah?
What's up, Brad?
How you doing?
How's it going?
Good. Trying to get
Oh, all right, Brad. It's good to see you, man.
Good to be seen.
Yeah, I never seen you physically. Oh no, it was right before I went to Vegas. That's right.
Yeah.
I came up to the shop where I used to work with you over there. Yeah, Brad. How's it going?
Going good, brother. It's a Saturday. Yeah. Got to get Penelope in the room hiding.
Oh, really? How's she doing? Man, she's getting big, bro.
Good.
She really bad. It's crazy. Like when you posted those pictures of her, like, man, she got more mature looking in her face, and she started to look more and more like you, bro. It's crazy.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yeah. I was just telling everybody that I met you in the rooms of recovery, and when I think you're like 6-7 months ahead of me, I believe, right? Your birthday is what, in July?
October.
Oh, October. Your belly button is in July?
Yes, sir.
Oh, that's what it is. Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, right on. Oh, my wife is on. Look at her talking about Penelope. Yeah, man. And we had some we got some memories, bro. We made, sober.
Yes, sir.
It was great, man. But real quick, Charles, before you get into your story, kind of tell us what you're like, what happened, and what you're like today.
Mm-hmm.
I want to ask you, how long have you been sober?
It's coming up on 4 years and 4 months, 5 months.
Oh yeah. Oh, all right, bro. And where are you from? Where are you from?
Originally from California.
Oh, all right. Yeah. All right. And what was your choice in drink and or drug?
More.
Yeah.
More.
Yeah. More. That's right. Mm-hmm. I can relate to that one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool, bro.
I can identify as an alcoholic and an addict,
Yeah. Right. No, like me personally, because I know you. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, bro. So at this time, I'm gonna give you the floor to kind of, just walk us through your story. Like, I know it. I heard it a bunch of times. But there's a lot of people that follow me who may not know you. So you can take it away, bro.
All right. Well, my name is Charlie B. I'm an addict, alcoholic, and I got a sobriety date of October 8th, 2016, and for that date, I will be forever grateful. And all I can say is something happened. You know,
Mm-hmm.
something happened on that date where it got me to my knees for good. You know, I was really baffled in where I was at in my life. I was at the lowest of my low.
Mm-hmm.
You know, alcohol became an absolute necessity in my life leading up to that day, and so was, you know, OxyContin,
Mm-hmm.
cocaine, um, ecstasy, marijuana, you
Yeah.
know, some crack here and there, and I something happened. I don't know. You know, I said a prayer and it got answered on that day. And
That's
it
right.
wasn't like any other prayer I said any other time
Mm-hmm.
in in um in trying to stop, you know. Because
Right.
my problem isn't stopping.
Mm-hmm.
My problem is staying stopped,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know. Because I mean, you know, separated from drugs and alcohol, you know, when I'm in, you know, when I'm in jail, like, you
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? I mean, no, you could find it in there as well, but I mean,
Yeah.
separated from it from a little bit of time, you know, my life is unmanageable, you know, even without drugs or alcohol. It's like
Right.
my thinking is obscured big
Mm-hmm.
time, you know,
Yeah.
and I just didn't know how to think like a normal person does. You know what? I don't even know what normal people think like, anyways.
Yeah.
But yeah, something happened, and I I said a prayer. I was on my knees. I was in a house all by myself. You know, no power, no electricity. Um, she left. The kids left.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I was uh I was at that, you know, either take me or fix me kind of point in my life.
Yeah.
Once again, this is not the first time. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? This is
Uh-huh.
just the last time it happened. And I just, you know, something happened, and I just said that prayer, and I reached out. I was, you know, I had no furniture in my house. All I had was vodka in the fridge, you know, and I thank to God I still had a house somewhere, to, you know, a roof over my head,
Mm-hmm.
because it wasn't always like that. You know, I had some bouts of living on the streets,
Mm-hmm.
you know, uh, and I could just sit here and recollect the times that I, you know, panhandling for alcohol, you know,
Yeah.
like I didn't even care where I stayed, what I
Mm-hmm.
looked like, if I showered or where it was. I just cared that I just wanted to get more booze.
Right.
And then it just and shortly after that date in October, I found um I found a treatment center, you know, Kaiser,
Yep.
and I went to treatment, and I I went in there thinking that I had to out bottom everybody in there, you know, like
Yeah.
you guys don't know where I've been or what I've done. Like I got to tell you the story, like to make you think like, oh, he's got a problem, you
Uh-huh.
know, like, oh, if you've been where I've been, you would be here too, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But little did I know that only separated me from people, you know, that had something I didn't, you know, which was
Right.
a day sober. And
Mm-hmm.
I just really I just listened, you know, I shut my damn mouth for once, and I listened. And you know, they suggested that I go to 12-step meetings, and I always thought that, you know, the people who are alcoholic, you know, are that guy sitting out front of the liquor store begging for your change, for, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I became that person, for a part of my life. And I was like, no, I'm not alcoholic yet, because
Yeah.
alcoholics go to meetings. That's what I always said. I hung around with a bunch of people who drank, you know what I mean? And
Mm-hmm.
I hung around people that did drugs, and I did drugs too, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just I went to my first 12-step meeting. It was a Alcoholics Anonymous meeting it was a Wednesday night speaker meeting, and I showed up late,
Uh-huh.
sat in the back of the room, and I'm sweating. I'm fucking I'm sweating like I don't know what these people are talking about. All I hear is wah 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 wah. And then at the end of the meeting, everyone stands up and starts praying, and I'm like, what in the hell? What in the hell is this? And I booked it. I was out. You know what I mean? I'm out. I'm out. So um, I had to come back the next day for treatment, and um, we had a little small group, and we talked about how many days we got and this,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know. I think I had like 5 days or something. And I'm detoxing from alcohol and drugs. They gave me medicine and stuff like that to wean off, drinking, and they asked me, I had to go through this long thing, and they gave me pills and stuff, and I was like, dude, don't you guys know, like, I fucking crush these things and I snort them up my nose. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna take these. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna. There's got to be another way. You know. So I I think I was going through detoxing through alcohol. It took me about a week or two. I mean, like night sweats, just
Yeah.
drenched, just nasty physical pain, like torture. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like it was horrible. But I just knew, I didn't know what the outcome, but I just knew it was going to be different, from what I was doing previous to, you know, blacked out just completely
Yeah.
all the time.
And in the part where you're detoxing, did you have the delirium tremens, the DTs, or did you have the
No,
shakes?
no, I did not. I did not shake. Um, they really monitored me that at Kaiser the hospital. They really monitored me to
Yeah.
see, daily, to check my, everything, to make sure, like, oh, that I was doing all right.
Right.
That first day, the first day was the worst. The first
Yeah.
week was the worst week. Yeah, but I didn't get a bad case of the DTs or anything. Not that I could remember, because
Yeah.
my mind was just so in a fog.
Yeah.
It just like, man. But I just remember, like, probably, shaking at night, maybe, like, but just sweating profusely
Yeah.
all night long,
Mm-hmm.
and just waking up like, oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and so I go to that, and I started going to 12-step meetings, shortly after that, and I just started hearing, um, my story in other people,
Yeah.
like I thought I was the only one who woke up at 5 in the morning before I went to work and was slamming vodka. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
if I had it in the fridge, I was drinking it on the way to work.
Mm-hmm.
And um like, this is how my schedule went before I got in. So it was a daily. Like, if I blacked out the night before, I
Mm-hmm.
would go. I would go. If I had alcohol from the night before in my fridge, very rarely, I would drink that on the way to work, and then 6 o'clock in the morning, the liquor store opens. You know what I mean? I walk in there, the guy's like, "Hey, my friend." You know what I mean? Uh, it's so sick.
Yeah.
And I get my two tall cans and a shot of vodka, and I slam that, and I'm ready for work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I get this bright idea, like, you know what would be better is I got some cocaine too, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or I would obsess about it, getting the cocaine until I
Mhm.
actually got it, and that thought would just dominate me. Like, I
Mhm.
need to feel different, I need to feel different, you know
Right.
what I mean? I need to smoke weed in between. So from 6 to 10, I would go to the liquor store at 10 o'clock break and slam some more, alcohol.
Mhm.
Then at 12 o'clock, I would do the same thing. 3 o'clock, do the same thing. 4 o'clock, I'm at the bar.
Yeah. Wow, bro.
Every day.
Yeah.
And that's just alcohol, you know what I mean? And,
Yeah.
like, I'm talking about just massive amounts of vodka, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Like no,
and,
mhm. No, go ahead.
and that was that was with kids and a girlfriend.
Uh-huh.
Like, man, was she pissed.
Yeah. Oh, I bet,
Mm,
bro. But no, you're because we used to work together, and I remember you telling me we would talk about these things of how you would go to this liquor store, you and so would just go straight to work and continue to do cocaine and drink in the parking lot at work, and then once the time came, boom, you guys punch in and you just kind of do everything you just said. That's totally relatable, to me. I can totally relate. It's crazy though, like how we put our physical bodies through this kind of torture
torture, yeah,
the mental,
yeah.
like I should be like handicapped or something, you know what I mean? Like all the
Mhm,
stuff I did. Oh,
mhm,
thank God, man. No.
yeah, yeah. It was the physical torture. Like, I wouldn't eat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, all I would just live off alcohol. Like I told you those stories. Like, I would end up at the bar at 4 o'clock. You know, turn my phone off because she's blowing up my phone, and I would be there till 2 in the morning, and I'm like, I'm not going home. She's pissed off. You know what I
Uh-huh.
mean? So we would end up in, you know, I don't know where. You know what I mean? Half the time I don't know whose house I'm at, or what other bar I'm at, or you know what I'm sticking up my nose. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, and it just became worse and worse and worse. And then in that drinking, and then I found pills. You know what I mean? I was taking Vicodin, Oxycontin, Dilaudid. Oh man, all of them. You know what I mean? I was and the horrible things that I had to do to get high. It was
Yeah.
horrible. Like robbing people. Like,
Hmm.
man. You know.
Yeah. Oh, hey, didn't you get shot, bro?
Yeah. When I was 17, I got shot 3 times.
Yeah. I seen
Yeah,
the
and
scars.
and that still just.
No. Yeah. And that's I think that's important for you if you want to talk and kind of share more about that. Because you would think, hey, you get shot even one time. Okay. Something got to change in my life. You know what I mean? Oh. Hey, Charles.
Hospital and
Oh, okay. Sorry, I couldn't hear you. I can hear you better now.
okay.
Yeah.
No, I'm 17 and I'm still in high school, and I get shot. I'm at the right place at the wrong time, I guess. And I lose a kidney, and
Hmm.
it punctures my liver. So, but your liver is an organ that will heal itself. So they pull out my kidney and leave my liver, and um, the doctors warned me about drinking. You know what I mean? They're like, hey, you're young, you'll still you can live without one kidney, and uh, I just I took it like growing up. We didn't. My mom, is a drug addict. We grew up very poor. You know,
Yeah.
and my dad's an alcoholic, and my dad and my mom are separated, but that doesn't make me one. You know what I mean? What makes
Hmm.
me one is that once I put it in my body, something happened, you know.
Yeah.
So they warned me in the in the hospital about drinking, and I was like, okay. And I told the story before, like, man, that first time I put alcohol in my body, you know what I mean? After leaving the hospital, it took a few years, probably like 18 or something.
Hmm.
And I just wanted to be, I just wanted to feel different, you know. And
Hmm.
I put, it was like it's like I was crossing a bridge on a narrow little bridge, you know. I was like sipping it really slow, like if something's gonna happen, something's gonna happen, you
Yeah.
know. I only got one kidney. Am I gonna like, I don't know what I was thinking, you know what I mean? But nothing happened, and I got shit faced, and I liked it, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? All my problems disappeared, and
Hmm.
there I was with myself, you know what I mean? And from then I knew I wanted more, you know? I wanted more of that feeling. It's just
Yeah.
like the first time I smoked a cigarette, you know what I mean? I'm
Hmm.
like, ooh, I'm all lightheaded, you know what I mean? Tobacco. And every cigarette after that, I never got that feeling, you know what I mean? I was
Right.
always searching for that feeling and
Yep.
never got it, you know? But with alcohol, I got it, and I'm a habitual line stepper. You know what I mean? I totally overshoot the mark. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, Where's Charlie? Oh, he's passed out in the backyard. You know what I mean? Like that was a normal thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like you're talking about, that feeling that it produced, the feeling that you liked, and that's something, bro, I definitely can relate to because that like ease and comfort I got from
Mhm.
snorting a line or smoking it, freebasing it, or
Yeah.
getting drunk the first
Mhm.
drink or the first 100 drinks or whatever it was. As soon as it entered into my body, bro, all my physical pain went away, all my emotional pain went away, all my mental pain went away, and I
Mhm.
did, bro. I felt different,
Yeah.
and I loved it. I loved to. I didn't want to feel how I felt in a sober state of mind. I just didn't like that about myself
Absolutely.
because I was introverted, and everybody around me, like my family, they're all extroverts. Like,
Right.
I mean, now that I'm thinking about it, there's like no introverts in my entire family. Now that I'm thinking about it,
Right.
and that's something that I just love, man. And drugs and alcohol did for me what I couldn't
What I
do for
couldn't do.
myself. But
Absolutely.
today I replaced that with God. Now God does for me what I cannot do for myself, and
Absolutely.
it's a way better deal, bro.
Yeah. Absolutely. You
Yeah.
know. But it comes by putting in some work. It just doesn't
Mm-hmm.
it just it
Hmm.
just doesn't happen. I
That's
mean,
right.
it doesn't happen for me.
Yeah.
I know that for a fact. Because I've tried it. You know what I mean? I try to get this by osmosis. Just
Yeah.
sitting my ass in the chair and getting shit.
Yeah. Sitting next to the guy or the girl with the most
Yeah,
time in the
just
room.
rubbing on them.
Yeah.
You know. So
No.
yeah, so that happened, like, dude, I fit in. Like how, those cliches, like I dance better, I look
Yep.
better,
Hmm.
like, dude, I had arrived. Like
Yeah.
this is who I want to be. Like I put on this persona. Don't you know who I am? I got shot. I
Yeah.
got shot. Like, don't you
Yeah.
know who I am? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Dude, and that didn't end me nowhere but in the rooms of, and cocaine anonymous. So, it don't mean shit to nobody. But no, man. And then, so it started progressively getting worse, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
So when I'm 18, I started hanging out with these people. I was in this rockabilly crew, you know what I mean? I was a greaser, had a big old pompadour. All my buddies drove 50s cars, and
Yeah.
we would go to, a lot of shows, a lot of fights, but it was always alcohol involved, and I
Mm.
and I like that. You know what I mean? We had our Lucky Strike cigarettes, Camel non-filters. You know what I mean? We were out there, and we were just alcohol was always involved. And I like that. I fit in with that, and
Right.
uh, then uh, at 20 years old, I had my first daughter,
Hmm.
and that didn't change me either. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
You know, I thought her was gonna fix, my
Mhm.
drinking at that time, 20. Um, no, I I took her hostage for
Yeah.
I took her hostage
Mhm.
for about 2 years, and
Mhm.
yeah, she left me.
Mhm.
She left me. So now, I mean, now I have a daughter. I was always working. It was weird how my ethics, like my mind works, because I always seen my dad as like, you know, alcoholic, but I thought like that's what I'm not that bad because I still go to work, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or you know, but towards the end it didn't even matter that I had a job, you know what I mean? I didn't give a
Yeah.
shit, you know?
Yeah.
But like I just seen like that picture, and I told myself I was never gonna be as bad as him
Yeah.
but came worse, you know? Like like yeah, so first baby's mama, she kicked me to the curb, and that sent me into like a bout of depression, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Because like here I am bringing this child into this world when I'm a child, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
And it's like I can't even provide for this child because all I can think about is myself, you know?
Right.
Yeah. So then I move into my buddy's house, and everything's going good for a while. And I'm smoking, drinking. It's a party. I lost my job. This is what 2000, when the economy crashed back
Oh,
then.
2008. Probably
Yeah,
2008.
2008.
Yeah.
Yeah. So around that time, and the economy crash, I lose my jobs, and it's on and cracking. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? The
Yeah.
government's sending me a check to party. Fuck yeah, dude. So it was on, drinking and drugging just constantly for um for a year or two. And I didn't have a worry in the world, dude. I mean, that's all I did. We lived on this farm in Paris, dude. It was on and cracking. So then in between there, one of my roommates, he was like my brother. He's the guy who drove me to the hospital when I got shot.
Mm-hmm.
Um, he passes away.
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean? Just suddenly, 25 years old, passes away, and I'm just heartbroken. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? I'm just absolutely like devastated, like total, total, totally in this dark hole, man, and it just gets way worse for me.
Yeah.
I don't do anything for a long time, and all we do is just blackout drunk, like, man. And like for a while I thought like, damn, like this was a good guy, like,
Mm-hmm.
didn't drink, didn't smoke, and just bam, died. We they said it caused of death was pneumonia,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know, I mean, I'm not a doctor, so.
Yeah.
But that happens, and it just sends me into this black hole for probably another year, dude. And it's bad, you know, cocaine and smoking crack, you
Yeah.
um, it just got real bad quick, So he passes away. Then time goes on, and my daughter's mom, eventually the place where we at falls apart. You know what I mean? It's falls apart. Nobody's paying bills, electricity, nothing. All we
Mm-hmm.
want to
Yeah.
do is get drunk and party. So that falls to shit. And I call my daughter's mom, like, hey, I need a place to live. I need this. And she's like, fuck no. You know what I mean? So my option is, the streets of Riverside.
Yeah.
So there I go. And I'm sleeping out in front of this donut shop. I meet these people that are they travel trains, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm kicking it with these people, that panhandling, and I'm drinking. That's all we did, panhandle
Yeah.
and drink. You know what I mean? And eventually, my family found out about where I was and what I was doing. My grandma, and she offered to buy me a bus ticket or a train ticket down to El Monte,
Mm-hmm.
Montebello area to, you know what I mean, try to get my shit together.
Yeah.
And thought that was gonna work. And I get there and I'm like tripping out, you know what I mean, because I was living on the streets. And
Mm-hmm.
and I get there and you know what, dude, all I do is just drink all the beer in her fridge. The first
Mm-hmm.
day, just horrible. Just took it, demolished all the beer in her fridge, and she's like, "What in the fuck is wrong with this kid?" You know, this is not the kid that I raised. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's just so she's like, um, you know, you can't stay here very long, but you could stay here, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and get my shit together, and then I finally move back out to uh, where I'm at now, Bloomington area,
Mm-hmm.
Fontana, and I just continue to party. You know what I mean? Got a job at the time. After a while, I was working doing construction, demoing houses, you know, for remodels and stuff. And I wasn't I wasn't drinking too heavy, but I was definitely, you know what I mean, taking the pills and smoking a lot of weed at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then bam, it just hit me again. You know what I mean? Like my solution was to drink. You know,
Yeah.
the drinks and the drug wasn't always my problem. It was always my solution.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and things get rough again, and then bam, drink. You know, I like, dude, I got this really bad toothache. You know what I mean? And normal people are like, fuck, well, I'm going to go to the dentist. My solution is, you know what I mean? Snort a bunch of Oxycontin and take a bunch of vodka and try to pass out and go to sleep. You know what I mean? Like, fuck. So much cheaper to go to the dentist and get the tooth pulled for, like, you know,
Yeah.
like, fuck. Ugh. So, man, I do that for a while. Uh, I eventually go to the dentist. You know what I mean? Uh, so fast forward, you know, all these problems happen. I got all these problems going to court for custody for my daughter and child support and just shitload of bad stuff. And then I get another girl pregnant,
Yeah.
and I'm like, that's gonna fix me. This is the she's the one. That's it. This is, you know what I mean. We didn't get pregnant right away. You know, we were together for a minute, and then I thought, you know, she was the one. She was going to fix me,
Mm-hmm.
you know? It filled that hole, that empty hole that I had, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? Because I just wanted
Uh-huh.
to be loved, you know what I mean?
Right?
I just wanted to be loved. And, yeah, that didn't work out.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, we're together for a while, and, we find out we're pregnant, you know what I mean? And I'm like, oh shit, here it goes again, you know what I mean? And you know, and what we did when we found out when we were pregnant is we celebrated. You know what I mean? We're having a baby. Let's go get drunk. Let's go to the bar. Like,
Uh-huh.
you know what I mean? She wouldn't drink, but I sure was. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? And all my friends, you know what I mean? They're like, oh yeah, woo, let's get drunk. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
so we did that, and life was okay. You know what I mean? For a while, I mean, I calmed down, and and then it just, you know, it just gets worse for me. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to hide the amount I was drinking. You know what I mean? I was trying to hide the people's houses I was going to because, you know what I mean? She knew that they did drugs, and I'm like, well, I don't do drugs. You know what I mean? But
Uh-huh.
I really was. You
Yeah.
know, and it got worse. It got bad. You know what I mean? There was arguments. You know what I mean? The cops at my house, from the neighbors calling about people yelling and screaming, and it's like, fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, bad. All bad. And I would always try to stop drinking for somebody else. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I never did it for myself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I tried to, I always tried to, like, moderate my using and my drinking. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like I can't do a whole 8 ball of coke this time while I'm at my buddy's house, but I got it, and I'm only gonna do a few lines here and there, and I'm only gonna drink. That way I can go home and try to act normal. And I'm like,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know what I mean? And so fast forward a little bit, that's just like I'm bouncing all over the place. But I definitely like I always tried. So then, like these are the suggest. She knew like I had a drinking problem,
Uh-huh.
and she suggested, all right, how about you're a real asshole when you drink a lot of beer. How about you try drinking wine? I said,
Uh-huh.
fuck it. I fuck it. You know what I mean? So we're sitting here. She's making dinner, and I pour her a glass of wine, and she's making dinner, and it's all cool. And before I know it, I finished that whole bottle of wine, and I'm like waiting for her to not drink hers so I can drink hers. And I'm like, we're gonna need another bottle of wine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's just how I know the difference between the real alcoholic, the real addict, and somebody who can just take it or leave it.
Right.
Like that was never my story. Like I just can't. You know what I mean? Like I just can't leave. Like oh, there's a whole glass of beer. You know what I mean? Or there's pills in my jar, or there's Coke over there on the mirror, but I'm just gonna leave it and not take it. No, you know what I mean? Like,
No.
hold on. Let me smell it. Let me smell it. Like that's just. I don't have to. I didn't have to like tell you that. I just go back to my life and I have the evidence that shows me that I just don't have one. You know what I mean? Like I just can't have wine instead of beer. And
Right.
then after the wine, she's like, "No, the wine, I really don't like the feeling of drinking wine or whatever my excuse was. So now I'm just going to drink vodka." So then it was the vodka, you know what I mean? Just nonstop, like vodka 24/7, like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And then comes all the, what I mean? The Oxycontin comes in,
Yeah.
and then, what I mean? Snorting those, snorting Dilaudid, freaking oxycodones,
Mhm.
Vicodins, Percocets, like anything I could get my
Yeah.
hand on. I mean, then I started snorting Adderall, you know what
Well.
I mean? Phew. And it is weird. I was showing up to work like this, dude, and um, dude, half the times I'm like nodding out, you know what I mean, sweating, like
Yeah.
just tripping, and then some other days, dude, I'm like tweaked-ified out, like I need to clean the inside of the trash can, I need to clean the outside of the trash can, like it's just so dirty in here, like I need to clean everything, you know what I mean, like everyone's like, what in the fuck is this guy on, you know what I mean?
I know. I remember you telling me some of the stories when we used to work together, and it's such a trip, man. But it's such a blessing at the same time that like I think, bro, if it was me, they would have fired me. You know what I mean? That's just amazing, bro. How you still work at this job you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that's amazing.
It is a blessing, you know what I mean,
Yeah,
that they stuck through my bullshit, you know what I mean?
yeah.
Yeah. And
I know. I remember you
I'm
telling me about kicking chairs and doing all kinds of
oh,
stuff.
bro.
Yeah,
Yeah.
amazing.
Tripping. Like, dude, I took a week off of this job one time just to get high, you know what I mean, for a week
Yeah.
straight. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I came up with this crazy ass excuse that my car broke down, you know what I mean? And it was wild.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Eventually, she gets tired of my shit and she leaves, you know what I mean? And then she leaves, takes the kids, and now I'm like, fuck yeah, it's party time. You know what I mean? So I went on a six months of just pure of pure annihilation, like
Sure.
black, just done. Six
Mhm.
months of it, dude. And at the end of that 6 months, was about October 8th, 2016,
Uh-huh.
and it just you know what I mean? I just said a prayer and it got answered. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Came into the rooms of came into the 12-step rooms. Uh I heard a lot of good shit, and I stuck around, you know what I mean? Cuz I like I said, I just wanted to be loved, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
And somebody hugged me in one of those meetings, you know what I
Mhm.
mean? And I felt it. They said, "Come back."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I was like, I could do that. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? I could come back. And but they did say is don't get drunk or high in between now and the next time you come back, you know what I mean? Which was like, fuck, I could do that, you know? And if you promised me that my life would get better coming into the 12-step rooms, and you said it was going to get better, I would have been so pissed off because it took a while. It took some work, but my life did get different. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? My
Yep.
life got totally different. I wasn't no longer obsessing about getting drunk or high. You know what I mean? I I made friends. You know what I mean? I made friends that become family
Yeah.
in the rooms. You know what I mean? Like the meeting after the meeting, going to the restaurants and just learning about people and knowing that they don't want nothing from me
Yeah.
but to see me to succeed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To see me to get the thing
Yeah.
that they
Yeah.
got. There was men in that room that had 19, 20 years, and I was like, no fucking way, dude. Nobody stays sober that long. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, no fucking way. But they had every time I talked to them about something I was going through, they came out me with what they did to get through it. You know
Right.
what I mean?
Right.
And
Mm-hmm.
wow, you know what I mean? They didn't tell me what I had to do.
Yes.
They told me what they did to get through it, and I'm like, wow, there's hope. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's hope for somebody like me. You know what I mean? I'm just
Yep.
bat shit crazy sober. You know what I mean? This is going into the rooms and no longer putting drugs or drinking in my body. You know, and my life got different. It didn't get better right away. It got different. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It took some time and it took some work. You know what I mean? I'd say at least 2 years. You
Mm-hmm.
know, but that's my experience.
You
Some
right.
people might be different.
Mm-hmm.
But I I stuck around. I asked another gentleman to walk me through a book. And man, I had an experience. I had experience enough sufficient to bring about recovery in my life.
Right.
I'm no longer sober. I'm in a recovered state of mind. You know
Right.
what I mean? My mind and my body is recovered.
Yeah.
Because once I was hopeless, and now, you know,
That's right.
here I am.
I like how you explain that, like when you're going through something, because I experienced literally the same exact thing. And my sponsor, the way he sponsors me is the same exact way, like how you talked about, when you have a challenge or something going wrong in your life, and people will share with you what they did that helped them. They never
Hmm.
said, look, Charles, do this, do that, do this, do that.
Yeah.
Like
I'll say
that to
fuck.
me, in
Yeah.
my opinion, that's very
Hmm.
ineffective. Because
Right.
drug addicts and alcoholics, they don't like to be told what
Stubborn.
to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
you know, to this
Exactly.
day, my sponsor has never ever told me what to do. He's
Mm.
never made me do anything I don't want to do ever. And that's why I believe it's been so effective for me because like nobody made me drink and use, nobody made me recover. I became
Nope.
willing to do both. So that's
Absolutely.
why, yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely.
What's up, Ty? I see Ty down there. Love you too, girl.
And that's the same thing that I tell the people that I sponsor. You know what I mean?
Right.
Is that you know I can't tell you what to do. You know what I mean? All I can do is tell you how I got through. And it's been said in the rooms, and I know you've heard it. The best way to get through a minefield is to follow the footsteps of those in front of you. You know,
Yeah,
and that's life. And that's life for
that's
me.
right. Yeah, that's amazing, Brad. Like what it's been. I've known you over 4 years now, and although that time, we've both been sober really, and we had a lot of different experiences. I mean,
Yeah.
we've gone to other 12-step meetings like outside of our county and like go to different, all kind of cool things. Oh, okay. I remember something that happened.
The
I think
beach
we're in Newport
bros.
Beach. We're in Newport Beach. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. This just came to me.
Mm,
I
mm.
remember. So it's a funny story now. One of our other buddies, Daniel, he was down there playing softball. So we decided, oh, let's go hit a meeting down there, and we'll go meet up with him. And then went to the meeting. It was pretty cool. It was different, different
Yeah.
people and everything. So we get
Wasn't
to
that
Queens.
remember that
Yeah.
meeting? Remember that meeting? They asked us to do 7 minutes of meditation before the meeting started.
Oh yeah, that was
Remember?
different.
That was different.
Yeah, I remember that. I was like, oh, what? Really?
Yeah.
And like, I was only like, I don't think I even had a year yet. No, I don't think.
No.
No, I didn't. Yeah, I don't think none of us did. Yeah,
Mm-mm.
but I remember, we get to Canes, we're meeting Daniel and Pessy at Canes,
Mm-hmm.
and so me and Charles are literally in his car. He's driving. We're waiting for a car to reverse. His blinker is on to go turn left,
And
and we're
motherfuckers
waiting
cut
for
us
like a
off.
good 5 minutes for this person to leave. So this person leaves, and from the opposite end, another car comes flying in there
Mm-hmm.
and steals the parking. And at this time, I'm just sober. I have no recovery in me whatsoever. I whip the
Furious.
door open. I get out of the car. I go to the
Ooh.
guy's window. I'm pounding on his window. And like, he's not acknowledging me at all. Like, literally. And he gets out of his car and he just tries to walk past me. And I'm talking to him the whole way into this restaurant.
Furious,
Yeah.
bro. We're like,
And
I'm gonna
then
fuck this dude's car up. We're
yeah,
gonna get him,
and I was
bro.
like, man, but that's a good example of what it's like just being sober with no recovery in you.
Yeah.
See, today, honestly, I don't react like that anymore.
Well,
I learned how
me
to be
neither.
patient. I
Yeah, me
learned that.
neither. Yeah. Yeah.
But that's something I just remembered, bro. But you know what, Charles? As we stay winding down, if are you done sharing
Well,
anything?
yeah. I just want to say
Okay.
how much my life has changed coming into the 12-step program. You know what I mean? And having that experience, with the book, sitting across from another man or woman,
Mm.
and
Yep.
it it's just amazing. You know what I mean? Where I'm at today, and I know the only way for me to keep this is to give it away. You know
Right.
what I mean?
That's
And
right.
that's the only way I get to keep this. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
don't. There's no money. There's no amount of money I could pay to be what for the experiences that I have today that I could share them with somebody else
Right.
so they can get what I have.
That's right.
It's for fun and it's for free. You know what I mean? Mm.
I know, man. That's right. That's awesome, bro. All right, all right. Okay, let's see. Okay, I'll ask you a few questions now. So the first one is, so what has recovery taught you about yourself?
Recovery has taught me about me. First of all, it taught me that I'm the problem. That the drinking and the drugs was never my problem. It was always my solution.
Uh-huh.
That from from you know that sometimes in recovery, stone so cut, like sober, you know what I mean, in recovery still, that my life is still unmanageable.
Right.
That I cannot manage my own life. That I
Hmm.
have to go to a power greater than myself
Hmm.
that connects me to a three-part solution, right?
Hmm.
I got a three-part problem, I need a three-part solution.
Right.
So recovery teaches me daily that I'm no different, from from like where I came from. You know what I mean? I'm still
Yeah,
the same person. I still have the same experiences, but today I have a choice not to put drink or drugs in my body. You
that's
know,
right.
and also recovery has taught me that resentment
No. Ooh.
will take me out faster than anything. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Uh-huh. But I hear you on that one. And
Resentment.
you know, well, like after I went through that part of the steps where I deal with the resentments and all these things. I mean, that's when the work really started to get put in for me. I mean, it taught me a lot about myself. I found out, man, I'm not the nice guy I thought I was. I
Right.
found out some hard truths about myself, and um, but it also, after I was done with it, it was like I stopped cutting myself and blaming the knife. It gave me
Exactly.
it gave me more perspective, and I became more responsible. I was able to
So
take responsibility.
right. When we come into recovery, we don't just talk about these things. We put them on. We get a pen and we put these things on paper.
Yeah.
And when you could see your truth on a piece of paper and it's not just rattling around your brain,
Yeah.
something happens, man.
Yeah.
Something happens for me. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Like I just got chills thinking about like
Me too, bro. Me too.
I seen it happen. I seen me, you know, take it out of my mind and put it on a piece of paper and be like, wow. And
Yeah.
then and the thing is too is I told somebody about it.
Yeah.
Like what?
I know. It's crazy, man. There's so much freedom in that for me, man. It's so freeing, bro. Honestly, I broke down in front of my sponsor. I started crying when I started realizing all these things, man. Because, like, up until you get to that part of, you know, what my part in it was,
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like full on justifiable. Everything that
Yeah,
I did.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know?
They did it. It's their problem.
Exactly.
Yeah. Mm.
And then when I get to the part where, okay, I gotta say what my part in it was, then I get to see my truth. And I no longer am a victim, and I got proof on paper in my own handwriting. You know?
Absolutely.
It's
Absolutely.
just such a freeing experience. I believe anybody, alcoholic, non-alcoholic,
Hey,
whatever, anybody can
absolutely.
benefit from it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Let me tell you this story. There was a woman that's a teacher. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? She's a teacher. You know her. She's a
Mm-hmm.
teacher. I'm not gonna, you know, say, but she's a teacher.
Yeah.
And there's two kids on, you know, on the playground, and one
Yeah.
kid comes up to her and tells
Yeah.
her, just crying, absolutely crying, like,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and she's like, what? What happened? You know, me and the other girl threw the ball and hit me in the face. Like,
Yeah.
oh, really? And you know, just crying, like,
Uh-huh.
crying, and then you know what I mean. So the teacher asked the girl, like, well, what was your part in it?
Yeah.
I punched her. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that's a four step. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know, like what
Yeah,
was your part
exactly.
in it? You know?
I remember that story,
Mm,
man. As you're saying, yeah, I remember that, and I mean, so much power in that, bro. You know, it's so freeing. Like that's the only way I can describe it. You know,
yeah,
so
absolutely.
much freedom, man, in that. You
Yeah.
know, it's amazing. Okay, so this next question now, I like to ask people this question that come on live with me once in a while because people who are not sober, it's kind of like a myth or this misconception that once you get sober, like your life is just absolutely wonderful, and it gets better. It does. Don't get me wrong. But
Yeah.
what I mean is, they think like, oh wow, then you don't struggle with anything anymore. Then you don't got financial problems, or you don't got
Right.
girl problems or kid
Mm.
problems, whatever. So the question is, do you still have challenges even though you're sober? If so, what are they?
Um, like I said, my life got different now that I'm
Mm-hmm.
sober. You know what I mean? It didn't absolutely get better. I still have, you know, I still have struggles. You know what I mean? I don't make mountains. You know what I mean? I don't make
Yeah.
mountains today that I can't get over. You know what I mean? They're little. You know what I mean? It says in my book that if I fail to enlarge my spiritual life, the certain mountains and low spots ahead that I'm not going to get through. You
Right.
know, so I got spiritually fit in order for me to deal with these problems. But you know, like I said, being resentful, you know what I mean, is a problem. Like, and you know, what's resentful mean? You know, the definition means to feel again, again and again, you know,
Yep.
over and over. And you know, and if I start getting on this, you know, this throne of judgment, like people aren't doing what I asked them to do, and how come you're not doing this, and how come Malika's, you know, hasn't had me on his pro recovery power like from day
Right.
one because we're boys,
Yeah.
man. Like, you know, if I think like that, like if I don't change my thinking, then you know nothing changes. Like
Yeah.
I still struggle with the way I think,
Okay.
but I have people in my life today where I can run these thoughts by, and they're be like, dude, you're tripping. I'd be
Right.
like, okay, you know what I mean?
Right.
Because the more I stay into myself, the bigger the problem gets
Right.
for me, you
Hmm.
know.
Yeah. I learned, man, if you're in your head, you're dead.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely,
You know, and
absolutely.
kind of tagging back on to what you're talking about resentments. Because I've said it before that resentment literally can take me out. Drugs and alcohol don't have to be involved. It is
No,
fatal for somebody like me.
yeah.
So, like what I mean, because people have asked me that before, like, wait, what are you talking about? Doesn't make sense.
Hmm.
So, I give an example of like, let's say I get into an argument with somebody, and I leave, I jump in my car, I'm zooming down the freeway, I lose control of my car, I
Right.
hit somebody, I kill them, and boom, my life is over. Or I kill myself, boom, my life is over. You know what I
Right.
mean?
On a
Just,
resentment. You know what I mean?
yeah, off of resentment. No drugs
Yeah.
and alcohol involved at all. You know,
Absolutely.
it's a thinking
Yeah.
problem that I
Yeah.
have. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
um,
Because usually for me, resentment leads to anger. You know
right,
what I mean? Which then, at the root of all of that is fear. You know what I
right,
mean? You know?
right.
So, but I wouldn't know this if I didn't do any work on it. You know what I mean?
That's right.
I would think of that. You know what I mean? I'm just a, you know, some somebody that's got all the answers. You know what I mean? And that's
Right.
another thing too. Is like you're saying, like, you know, people think that, you know, just because we got sober, we don't got no problems. But just because I'm sober doesn't, you know, I don't no longer look for the solution in the
Yeah,
alcohol.
we got different tools we use today.
Right, right, right.
Yeah. Let me see. So, oh, you said something. Oh, that's okay.
Man, I
Um,
just remember, dude, I just remember when you came into the rooms,
yeah.
and bro, I just remember the cell phone story you told me. Remember, bro, you sold your
Oh, yeah.
brand new iPhone for a
Brand new
sack,
iPhone.
dude. Woo!
Yeah, because you know
Uh,
what? I really only had one trigger, really, like, and it was money. You know,
yeah.
like money would trigger me, and so my
So,
sponsor was like, "Okay, tell me that story again." Over
mm,
the last time you got loaded, and I started off with no money. I sold my phone. Wait, what?
hey, dude, I
So,
did my best work with no money. I'm just saying, I did my best work at
you
getting
know,
high
like,
with no money.
hey, if I'm gonna drink and use, I'm gonna drink and use.
Mm-hmm.
Money, no money. Girl, no girl. Whatever. It doesn't matter. I'm gonna figure out how to do it. You know, like one thing, in my opinion, that alcoholics and addicts are not a stranger to is hard work, bro. It's some hard work, hustling,
Mm-hmm. It's a
pushing a body to
full-time
the limit.
job. It is a
Yeah,
full-time job to stay high.
exactly, bro. I know, man. It's crazy.
But
Um,
I just remember that story. Remember you telling me, like, dude, I sold
yeah,
myself. I met the dude. I sold him the cell phone for, you know, $150, and then drove all the way to the high desert to get the coke, bro.
yeah, because that's where I would go to get it, and I went up there so much I didn't need my phone to for the GPS. I would just look, like, go Barstow, keep going
Yeah.
that way. You know, so I
Uh,
made it, man. Amazing.
I just remember, dude. Remember those times that, bro, you were you were working at Chevron, bro, and
Yeah,
you were living at the sober living, and
yep,
me and Daniel would come pick you up, you know, every day,
yeah,
and it's crazy, man, that you know that we like somebody like me can do that for somebody, you know what I mean?
yeah,
Because somebody did it for me previously, like,
yep.
you know what I mean? Like,
That's right.
and not expect anything in return. You know
Uh-huh.
what I mean? Because
Yeah,
all we wanted to see you is to get this, you know, to get the thing, you know what I mean?
yeah, yeah.
To
You
get it
know,
to get it.
and that's something that honestly, bro. Like I don't want to talk about it too much because it's gonna make me cry. I can already feel it. But that's something that I will never forget about you and Daniel. You guys played a huge part in early on in my recovery because I was at the sober living. I didn't have a car. I didn't have a way to get to meetings. And you guys never grumbled. You never said, "Oh, well, I get off work late and I can't." Or not one time did you ever say, "No, I can't, bro. I'm sorry." I remember you used to have your van, right? Was it a van at
Yeah,
first? When I
it
first
was
met
a
you, you had
it
the
was a
big van.
Pathfinder, yeah.
Talk about the Pathfinder, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, that. And you just pick me up. You know, we'll all hang out after the meeting. We got to, get to know each other more, develop relationships, and, we got to drive them deep. And look, everybody I met in my 12-step program, and I mean, there's hundreds of people I know and that know me, and I love all of them. I don't have, like, since I learned about resentments, since that day, I have never caught the resentment
Right.
because I understand what it's going to do to me.
Right,
The
right.
resentment will never work in my favor. It will always work against me. And I'm clear on that. But like what I want to say is like, look, I love everybody. I'm not talking about anybody else right now, but I really, really appreciate you. And I'll just say that because, since I've been sober, you have been very consistent in supporting me. You have you still communicate with me. I'm not saying again. I'm trying to be clear. I'm not trying to hurt other people's feelings or
Right,
kind of talk
absolutely.
about somebody else.
No, it's
But
definitely not like yeah.
that's something, bro. Like I love you, man. I really
I love you
appreciate
too,
that
bro.
about you. You're always there to support me, man, and that means a lot to me. You are a wonderful example, bro, for somebody. And like you may not know it, but like You do. You inspire me. Like all these years I've known you, and especially for that year we worked together. We was with each other every day, bro. Recovery all the time. We talked
Hmm.
about it. You know,
Yeah.
and it was just so awesome,
And
man.
and then it was crazy, like you know what I mean? We just be together and then we just tell stories, you know what I mean? Tell story, like, bro, you know?
Yeah.
But dude, but I just came to my mind, dude, when you know you got that bike, you were working at Chevron,
Yeah.
motherfucker stole your bike, bro.
Yeah. I know. I stole my
uh,
bike, and it was chained up too, man.
oh yeah. Hey, you know what's crazy? I just remembered. I got my 1 year and you took me out for pizza. It was me and you. Remember we went to that pizza spot?
Where in Fontana?
Fontana, yeah, by your sober living. You were barely
Oh
making it, bro.
yeah.
You were barely making it. You were
Yeah.
barely, and you're like, no, bro, I'm gonna treat you. I'm gonna treat you.
Yeah. 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 I
And
remember
you
that.
bought me. I think you bought me pizza.
Yeah, because you know what? That's something that like everybody, all you guys that came before me, just the program of recovery period. That's how it works. Like you know, like people who did things for me, they always say, "Look, you don't. This, you want to pay me back? Go do it for somebody else. Go
Absolutely.
pay it
Yep.
for." I mean, like that stuff is priceless, bro. You know.
Mhm.
But you know, it's just I'm just so overwhelmed, man, with gratitude and um, you know it's just amazing about like how drastically my life changed like my life changed kind of rapidly actually you know
Yeah.
like I had
Absolutely.
nothing, no money, no house, no car,
Mhm.
you know,
Yeah.
to literally less than 2 years, you know, married, then like I met a girlfriend, married. You know,
I went to your
I got
wedding, brother.
yeah, I know
Yeah.
exactly. And
Yeah.
then, you know, less than a year later, boom, child, you know,
Yeah.
but not just that and material things. I'm talking about the things like, bro, like peace. I can be
Oh,
patient
absolutely.
today.
Oh my
Like, you know,
God.
I can love
Yeah.
people even though they don't love me back.
Absolutely.
We can
Yeah.
disagree and still be friends.
Yes.
That's the stuff I'm talking
Yes.
about, you know?
Yes. Yes.
And that's all has recovery's name written all over it, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Like and like these things just don't come to people. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like we could wish these things, you know, upon. I could wish, you know, being being, you know, in the rooms, and I could be like, man, I really wish Alika gets this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's gonna take what you know. It's gonna take what it takes for Alika to get it. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And I've heard it too. Sometimes, you know, when the pain gets sufficient enough, you know, something might change. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If not, then you know what I mean.
That's
This,
right. Like, you know,
yeah,
from a young kid, my dad always tell me, look, you can go through two different pains, the pain of change or the pain of being the same. At
yep,
that point in my life, bro, it just hurt too much already.
yep.
I was just like mentally, financially, spiritually just dead, you know. And I was like,
Hmm.
bro, I gotta start doing something different. I
Oh,
got it.
I know that feeling, brother.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But okay, bro. So the next question is, okay, what do you do to maintain your sobriety today?
um, I to maintain my sobriety today, you know, I go to meetings. You know, I go to meetings.
Oh man.
I reach out to other, you know, fellow alcoholics and addicts. You know, whether it be men and women, you know, in between.
Right?
I try to I always try to ask them how they're doing. You know what I mean? I always reach
Hmm.
out to men, you know, women, and ask them how they're doing before I even start talking to, you know, I try not to talk about myself too much because it's not about me. It's
Yeah.
about, you know, about reaching out and, you know, and getting them because like, oh, this is perfect example. Remember when I was um I don't know, maybe like 3 months sober and I flipped out and I called you guys
Oh,
and you
oh,
guys met me at Denny's.
Denny's. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Bro, like
remember
that.
that.
You know what I mean?
Uh
But
huh.
like it's just crazy how this program works because I was like, dude, I'm gonna fucking kill myself. Like
Yeah.
that's it. You know? And I've been in the rooms for 3 months or so, and I called people, and I don't know why. You know what I mean? I
Hmm.
don't know why I reached out and I said like I gotta tell somebody how I feel. Like
Yeah.
I just freaked my mom out. You know what I mean? I called my mom and I'm like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? And she's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Go to the hospital. You're gonna hurt yourself. And I'm like, I'm gonna ram my car into this fucking wall. Bah. You know what I mean? And this is sober. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
With this is just sober. This is without drugs or alcohol in my body. When I'm tripping. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I pick up the phone this is how I know something is out there, right?
Mhm.
Because my buddy Daniel answers the phone, and he just so happened to get out of work that early, and I left work because I'm flipping out, you
Mhm.
know, and he answered the phone and said, "Meet me right here, right now. Let's talk." And
Yeah.
I'm like, "What? Like what?" Because if I dialed any other phone, at that time in my contacts, their solution probably to me, if I went back to those, if I went back to the barber shop to hang out with my friends at the barber shop, I would probably got a haircut that day. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But it's just crazy, you know what I mean? Like just reaching out, and that happened, you know what I mean? Like I
Yeah.
totally got him and Rufus like totally walked me off a ledge, bro.
Yeah.
Like that's it. I thought I was it. I was over. And you guys just showed up like, what the hell? People
Yeah.
do care about me, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know?
That's right, man.
But
Huh?
you just don't know. We just don't know these things unless you take the initiative to reach out to other people. You know what I mean?
No, absolutely, bro. Absolutely. You just made me think of something. We was talking about it earlier. And like getting the information, the knowledge, like through the book we went through other people's, their words of wisdom and things like that. That's like, for me, that's like half of the solution.
Yeah.
The other half is actually applying it and doing
Yeah.
the
Oh,
work.
oh,
I can learn
absolutely.
all this stuff, but if I never do
Yeah.
nothing with it, I'll be the same
Right.
person. Nothing would
Mhm.
change.
Mhm. I mean, it's just like me going to school. You know what I mean? And if I don't put it into action, then all I did is go to school. You know?
Right, right, exactly. It's funny because like this is my take on this. Especially in the beginning, like is a lot of hard work, but then somewhere along the line for me, it stopped being hard work and it just became a way of life, honestly.
Right.
And
Absolutely.
I remember going to school when I was becoming a counselor. I learned like the biological makeup of the human body and the brain, how it works. It's basically the spiritual side and the science is saying the same thing.
Mhm.
Because it's kind of like you're reprogramming and retraining your brain. So at a certain time, it'll be set to like a certain way, and like I said, that's when like it'll just be a way of life. It's not really hard work
Right.
anymore.
Right.
It's pretty
And
awesome, bro.
and that's one of the things too. In like remember, like a lot of people ask, like, because we went to meetings at the day treatment place, and
Yeah.
they're like, "Man, how long do I have to come to these meetings?" And we're like, "Until you want to." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Until you want to come to the meetings. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Not
I
not
know.
because you have to, because like come until you want to. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and that's what happened to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's how.
Okay, let's see the next one. Okay, okay, tell me about the 13th step. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm
That's
just kidding, bro.
that's when you do one to 12.
That's another show.
Mm.
So okay, the next one is did you have a rock bottom? If so, what was it? Like a turning point, a rock bottom or something?
I've had a few rock bottoms,
Yeah.
honestly. You know what I mean? But my main uh, that 6 months of
No.
that 6 months of just getting absolutely annihilated, and not seeing my daughters. You know what I mean? And just being sick, the sickest of the sickest. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just like I believe that this is a disease. Addiction and alcoholism is a disease, and it's just like if I would have cancer, you know what I mean, and I was going
Mhm.
through the worst of it,
Yeah.
like that whole 6 months, you know what I mean, actually my whole career of drinking, you know what I mean, led up to that point, but yeah, my rock bottom was just feeling so dead, you know what I mean, like being
Hmm.
so dead
Yeah.
inside, and worthless. Like I had no worth. I had no self-worth. I was no worth to anybody, my family, my friends. Like
Right.
I was worthless to a lot of people because I drink to live and I live to drink,
Right.
or use, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Either one. I did both.
That's right.
But yeah.
Another thing, we forgot to talk about, because we talked about how it's so funny, like, because being born and raised in Hawaii, when I went into the room of the 12-step meetings,
Mm-hmm.
like everybody was kind of just like how I grew up. Everybody's like laughing and hugging
Yeah.
and everything, and
Yeah.
I love that. And
Mm-hmm.
you know, we built relationships. You know, we drive them deep, and then I think it was, what was it, 2019? We went to Hawaii. You
Yeah.
came with us. We all went to Hawaii, where I'm from, and you got to experience that. You know, like, and it's so cool, man, because you got to bring your mom, your daughter, and you
Yeah.
got, you know, you remembered everything obviously because you were sober. You know what I mean? You
Yeah.
know what I mean? You
Amazing,
know,
bro.
I know that's so cool, bro. The kind of stuff we get to do, you know, in a sober state of mind, really, or just being sober and in recovery.
Yeah.
But here, bro. So look, okay, here's the last question. So, what would you say to the person that wants to get sober, the person that's trying to get sober, the newcomer? Any kind of words of encouragement, or what would you say to these people?
What I would say to somebody that is seeking to change their life or like to stop using, you know what I mean, is um, just, yeah, like it's so hard because, you know, every case is different, you know what I
Right.
mean? But like, I would suggest to get treatment first,
Yeah.
you know, you know, because it says, you know, that in order for us to get these kind of things, that our minds and our bodies have to be detoxed from, you know, what we've been putting in,
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
you know, and you know, detoxing from alcohol is really dangerous. You know, you
Yep.
need to do it by yourself. You can definitely die from
Yeah.
that. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so like, you know, definitely seek treatment. Um, and I mean, when you're done, you're done. You'll know it. You know what I
This.
mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just can't. Everyone's gonna have a different solution. You know, we found our solution, you know, through seeking God, you know, through
Mm-hmm.
seeking a power greater than ourselves, and through seeking, um, you know, the 12 steps. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? No matter what, you know, and I definitely would, you know, suggest treatment for sure because
Yeah.
this is it's very dangerous, man. It's very dangerous, you know.
Yeah, yeah, that's something that I learned as well when I was going through school. Like alcohol is the only drug that can literally kill you if you don't detox properly. You
Yeah.
know, like opiates, heroin, it feels like you're gonna die, but you're not.
Right.
You
Right.
know, but
Right.
alcohol, it
Yeah.
can definitely kill you. You know, that's why
Yeah.
I feel so terrible. You know, it's like a bittersweet thing when COVID happened. Like liquor stores are still open, but honestly, people who are full blown alcoholics, they need it just to get level again. You know, although it's killing them, like if they don't have it, it will kill them almost immediately, you know, kind of thing. But thank you, bro. I appreciate you being here. You know, we get to chop it up. You know, this is great, man. I'm gonna start going live again, even with people I went live with before, and kind of, talk more like about different topics in regards to recovery, you know, things like
Yeah.
that. So yeah, bro, I guarantee we can have you on again. You know.
Right. Right on. Yeah. Well, let me ask you a question.
Oh,
What
okay.
what what made you do this pro recovery power? Like, what is your, is there a goal in this?
Yeah. Okay. That's a good question. So was like in the middle, like maybe like 4 or 5 months into the pandemic. I was thinking, man, people who are still struggling with drugs and alcohol, they don't have the same resources I had because everything was
Right.
like shut, like fully shut down at this
Mm-hmm.
time. So I was like, okay, what can I do? What can I do? Then I had the idea. Why don't you start like a page geared toward recovery on Instagram? I was like, oh, that's a good idea. And I was trying to think, okay, what I'm going to call it, what I'm going to call it. So, and then honestly, Pro Recovery Power was the first like name to drop into my mind. And I was like, this is it. Because I am more so pro recovery and less anti addiction.
Right.
Because like, it's like having constituents and comrades. Constituents, therefore, what you're for, comrades are against what you're against.
Right.
And for me, if I am like anti-addiction, I'm more problem focused. But being pro anything, being like pro recovery, you know, there, and then on top of that, power. There is a lot of power in that, in general. You know what I mean? Being pro anything. So that's how it started. And then more recently, I started to make some recovery clothing. I just made hats. My
Yeah.
hats should be in like any day now. I should get them.
Right.
And, just to bring more awareness, because there's a bigger vision, a bigger goal behind this, which is what Pro Recovery Power, the vision and the goal of it is to become a nonprofit. That's the whole goal. I have a mission and a
Yeah.
vision for it, to go out into treatment centers, on the streets, and there's a bigger vision, down the
Right.
road as
Yeah.
well. But
Yeah.
that's more like immediate kind of
Right,
thing.
right. To stay,
Yeah.
let's stay in today right now.
Yeah, that's right.
So, but I know you're big into the Instagram and the recovery community on here,
Yeah.
and I know everyone recovers different.
Yeah.
But having that we talk about God, I mean, a power greater than ourselves.
Yeah.
You know, is there anybody that like where it shuts off? You know what I mean? It says some people are shut off to the idea that there is a God. Have you
Yeah.
came across that yet?
Yeah, I have. It was kind of recent actually. It was last week. It was last week. So the kind of trap that and stigma in the culture of 12-step program,
Hmm.
there is one I found out, and it's honestly, in my opinion, it's more dangerous than the stigma outside of it, because
Right.
the big trap that I fell into, and many people do, is comparing what worked for me with what will work for you.
Absolutely.
Like my
Yeah.
recovery with your recovery, I'm
Yeah.
comparing.
Right.
And that's a mistake that I have made.
Yeah.
Although like I have my own beliefs, I know what works for me.
Hmm.
I understand today what worked for me may not what work for John,
Right.
for Mary,
Right.
for
Right.
so and so.
Right.
So, and because how I became like that was this 12-step program. It taught me how to
Yeah.
keep my mind open. That's
Right.
why,
Right. Right. Well.
but I have, and honestly, according to someone's faith, let it be done unto them. According to my faith, it'll be done.
Right.
According to someone, like, and that, I'm not talking about God. People who are devil worshippers have faith. You
Right.
know what I mean? Like, everybody
Absolutely.
got it. It is
Yeah.
built into us.
Right.
So, because like anybody in any 12-step program, I mean, it takes faith to recover. There's no
No.
way you
Oh.
can do it without it.
And it says in our book over and over, faith without works is
Yeah,
dead. You
it's
know what I mean?
dead, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. But
And
yeah, that's funny that you asked me that, because I went live last week and answered a bunch of questions, and that was
uh-huh.
one of them. Somebody didn't believe in God, and they
Yeah.
asked if they could recover.
And there's a whole chapter written about that.
Yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
exactly. I know.
And the agnostic, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
The prefix for ag, you know what I mean, is
Yeah,
without, and agnostic is knowledge. So
yeah,
you know what I mean. So it means you're without knowledge of
yeah,
what, you know what I mean. But I like what you said about everybody has faith. You know what I
yeah,
mean. And it goes into explain like, you talk about like every time you go to your kitchen and you hit that light switch,
yeah,
you have faith that the light's gonna turn on, right?
yeah,
Or you wouldn't go touch the light switch, right?
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like
yeah. Even
some
like, even putting gas in your car, you have faith that it's gasoline and not chocolate milk.
yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
some of us tap into it and some of us don't. That's it.
Absolute.
That's
Yeah.
the only thing. Like,
And
I don't know how electricity works, but if I know if I hit this switch, the lights are gonna come on.
yeah, you
Same
can't
thing.
explain it. Yeah.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
and it's just like in our recovery, we can't explain to what we tap into to get us
Uh-huh.
to where we're at today.
That's right.
But I like to say this: God has a middle name, and it's got to be something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's got to
Yeah,
be. You
bro.
know what I mean? Because what separated you from cocaine on that day in February? Something.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and God, for me, He lifted the obsession early on, was probably within my first 6 months. And
Mm.
since that day, I never struggled with drugs and
Right.
alcohol already.
I,
I
I and
never did, bro.
I seen that change in you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Trudging
Hey,
this
so
road.
everybody see, you guys, I got proof now. I'm not just saying it.
uh, I seen the change in you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like because we would talk about it. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I
Like
know.
we were trudging. You know what I mean?
That's
And
right.
and
And
and the
I just had my 4 year sobriety birthday on Wednesday.
yes sir.
And and like that's something that I like to make sure that I'm clear about, like that I if I had the ability to keep myself sober, I wouldn't need God, I wouldn't need you,
Exactly.
I
You
wouldn't need
wouldn't.
no 12
Yeah.
steps,
You wouldn't be
nothing.
here. You wouldn't be
No,
here. Yeah.
no, I wouldn't.
So.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I would have done it on my own,
Yeah.
but I
Exactly.
could not. I was too
Yeah.
far beyond human aid already. I needed God.
Absolutely.
I did.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah,
And it said that we had to get badly mangled to
that's
get this.
right.
You know what I mean?
Oh, I
Yeah.
was tore up, bro.
Oh, tore up, brother. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know anyone else who sells their cell phone for cocaine, but I mean, uh,
Yeah, man.
I mean, but I've sold a lot of shit too. You know what I mean? Just to get high. You know what I mean?
Yeah, some VCRs, some TVs.
Oh, bro. Whew. Whew, I got this DVD player.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but right on, bro. Hey, thank you for being here, man.
Yeah, bro.
I'm gonna post it. This one was fun, bro. We went a little long, but that's all good, man. We had a good flow going. I love it,
Absolutely,
bro. I
brother.
love it. It's like sitting in a meeting. You know what I mean? Same thing.
That's right. All in or nothing. That's right.
Yeah, yeah, oh yeah. That's one of my classmates, bro. So
Yeah.
yeah, like I was always like that. I always had that
Yeah.
tendency. I'm either all in or I'm all out.
Yeah, exact same here. Like, you know what I mean? And that's how, I heard it, you know what I mean? Is like if you got 1 foot out the door and 1 foot in a room, like
Yeah.
the chances are you're gonna get picked off, you know?
That's right.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's right. There's no
Because
no half measures here.
half measures avail me nothing, brother. Yeah. Mhm.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
But okay, bro. Hey, I thank you again, for being here. This has been so much fun, man.
Yeah, bro.
I'm so pumped about this. I'm so glad I had this idea to start doing this because pretty soon I get my website that I'm building, so it'll be
Yeah.
up shortly. We'll talk about all this stuff, what we
And if you
are,
ever
the
need somebody
lives.
to talk with, bro, I'm here for you.
Oh, bro. Oh yeah, I'll be hitting you up, man.
Yeah,
But
bro.
thank you again, Charles, for being here, bro. I
All right.
appreciate you.
Love you, brother.
Okay, bro. Love you too.
All right. Bye.
Bye. Oh, there we go. Okay, that was Charlie B. I said this in the beginning. If you guys got a story to tell, please reach out to me. Pro Recovery Power website will be up soon. I know a lot of people asking for clothes, which I appreciate. But soon it'll be up. You can get it straight from our website. It'll talk more about what we're all about in general. So I thank you guys so much for watching. Tomorrow I have my friend Adam gonna be on. You guys don't want to miss this one. Okay, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye bye.